Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and I'm so excited because today I am sewing a dress and I'm really excited to make this dress. I'm making the Anthea blouse and I'm hacking it into a dress with ruffles and cute like clear buttons, and it's going to be this really beautiful blush pink linen. This linen is so soft. I have been really excited to work with this for a long time. I've been holding on to it. It's one of those pieces of fabric that I have been hoarding a little bit in my stash. And I think that this color just really screams Valentine's Day, and I'm just really excited to make myself a little date night dress for this Valentine's Day. And speaking of Valentine's Day, this video is sponsored by Ana Luisa. They are having a really big Valentine's Day sale, and I will show you some new items I got from them and talk a little bit more about their sale in just a little bit. Okay, so the first thing we're going to have to do is add our fusible interfacing onto the front pieces. This is something that's really common with making shirts or dresses with a button placket. So I cut mine to the length that the pattern suggested, and I forgot that I shortened the bodice for this. So basically I shortened it to the point where there's only 4 buttons on the top part. So there is a button gauge that was included with the pattern. So if you want to do it like exactly like I did it, like the length, it's just about underneath my bust. So I have my 2 pieces of interfacing. I could probably actually just use one of these. And I'm gonna go grab my iron so that we can just iron these on. Okay, our 2 sides have interfacing. And the next thing on the list here is to turn the front edge under again along the remaining fold line and press, pin in place an edge stitch close to the folded edge. Okay. Okay, so now that that is all done, we need to attach this to the back piece, which would be this. And I'm gonna give it just a real quick press. I have actually never used my iron on a towel on top of a desk like this before, but this is extremely convenient. Okay, so I'm attaching the shoulder seams and the side seams. The bias tape facing for the neck. I'm going to give it a quick press just to prep it because I'm going to fold it into 3, like a little burrito kind of, so that, whoa, so that it's easier to use as actual bias tape. And by the way, bias tape is cut on the bias, which just means that you cut it at the diagonal. So the pattern piece will have a little arrow on it, and you want the arrow to be parallel with the top of your fabric. So it's a diagonal and you're cutting not like this, but like this. So I'm just going to fold in 1/3 and press that. And then I'm gonna grab the other side and have it overlap just a little bit. And then we'll grab the other side and just fold it over top, just like that. I'm a big proponent for pressing while you sew, so I'm just going to press the seam allowance for all of the stitches that I just made. A little bit of finger press, and then I'm just going to grab my iron and run that over this. I'm pressing the seam allowance on the shoulders to the back, and then I guess I'll press the side seam also to the back. This is one of the biggest reasons why I love working with linen, because it just presses so nice and it's so easy to sew and it feels so good to wear. The only downside to linen is that it frays a lot, so you have to make sure that you secure your seams with a zigzag or a serger if you have it. I have a serger, but I don't really use it because I find it really difficult, and the zigzag is honestly not a big deal. It definitely looks way more homemade than if you were using a serger, but it's not a big deal. I think that this is actually a sleeve binding. So we're gonna get a different piece. I think that this is the neck binding actually. So we're just gonna like, you know, ignore the size of this one when you watch that, but the actual process of pressing it and doing the folds is the same, except make sure that you do it the right size for the neck binding. Okay, so I attached the bias tape on. I attached it, let's say, right sides together. So now I have my other fold. As you can see, there's enough to have a little bit of extra on the side. So you need to fold that in, and then we're going to fold it. So we're gonna use that fold that we ironed, and then we're going to fold it one more time in, just like that, and then top stitch on the other side. So you're gonna have to use your fingers to feel along the edge and see where the seam actually needs to be, which can be a little bit difficult, so feel free to pin it. I mean, you definitely should pin it on the outside and try to get the part where you need to stitch right in the center of the pin so that you're sort of reminded where you need to be stitching as you go. Okay, so before we get too far into the video, I wanted to take a moment to tell you about Ana Luisa, which is today's sponsor for this video. So Ana Luisa is a New York-based jewelry company that makes all of their jewelry out of recycled metals, focusing mostly on gold. All of their jewelry is made in small batches with new designs all the time, which is really awesome because making jewelry in small batches reduces waste. And even better, Ana Luisa is carbon neutral and water neutral. And also really cool, in 2021, Ana Luisa became a certified carbon neutral company. Sustainability in fashion is really, really important to me, and I'm really glad to work with companies like Ana Luisa who care so much about these things. So without further ado, I want to show you the pieces of jewelry that I got from them. I'm so excited because these honestly go so well with the like Valentine's Day theme. So the first item is a letter D necklace. And this one's really awesome because D could be Daniel, my husband, or it could be De La Paz, De La Plants, my maiden name, or my business. So I thought that that one would have a lot of significance, and I'm super excited to wear this. I think it's super dainty, and that's just one of the things that I love about Ana Luisa is, number one, gold jewelry is like my favorite, but I love jewelry that feels very, I don't know, like simple, yet makes a statement. I feel like that is Ana Luisa to me. The next piece are the small bubble earrings. I've got one right here in my hand, and these open. These look pretty seamless because the opening is just one of these. So I love their hoop earrings. I'm actually just gonna switch out to wear these right now. I'm wearing some other gold hoops that I got from Ana Luisa a couple months ago. That looks so nice. I love it. And then the last item, oh my gosh, this one is so cute. This is the Lucas Malachite necklace, and it has a really, really cool chain texture, and this pendant is so beautiful. I don't know how well it shows up on screen, but it's like a really nice green color. And this one is just so cool because I love that delicate chain. It's just so beautiful. I've been really into like different, I don't know, shapes and designs of chains. Also, something fun is they come in these really cute canvas pouch type of things. So these are really fun to use if you're like traveling. It's a super easy like little travel bag. So if you are interested in checking out Ana Luisa, they have a really great Valentine's Day sale going on, which is buy one, get one 40% off, which is amazing. Their jewelry is so wonderful for special occasions like Valentine's Day. Anything on their website, I personally would be happy to get. So it's a pretty simple thing just to send your partner over there and say, pick something out because it's all so beautiful, honestly. You can use the link down in the description box below to let them know that I sent you. That would mean so much to me. And let's get back into the video. Look at how beautiful this turned out. It's really beautiful. This garment just has really beautiful touches. So now I have the sleeve, which is going to require a lot of gathering. So I'm just going to give it a quick press and then I will start gathering. There are notches on the pattern that will tell you exactly where to gather. So make sure that you pay attention to that. And we're just gonna do some gathering stitches along the top and along the bottom. Hello, it is another day. The last day of making this dress. So last night I ran out of sunlight, which is, you know, because I'm filming, I had to stop, but if I wasn't filming, I probably would have continued. However, I did do one of the sleeves on/off camera and finish that so that we could see the final product. And this is pretty much what that looks like. And now I have the second sleeve, which I have pulled the gathers in, and I'm going to do the bottom cuff first. So with the bottom cuff, this is again cut on the bias so that it has a little bit of stretch to it. So I'm just gonna give it a quick little press and then we will fold it in threes as I did the neck binding. So I've got the cuff sewn on over the gathers and then I flip it out and it's the same thing as the neck binding. So you're just going to fold the raw edge in and then fold it one more time. The cuff is a little different than the binding on the neck. So the part where you actually stitch is only visible from the inside of the neck binding and then the outside looks like a clean edge. Whereas on the sleeve, based on my understanding, that stitched part is on the outside and then the inside doesn't look as pretty, honestly. It was a little bit difficult to remove the gathering stitches after I had stitched it down. So the inside of my sleeve cuff doesn't look incredible, I'll be honest. So I don't know. I don't exactly know why that happened. Maybe I did the binding backwards, but I do like the way that the binding looks when it is like a cuff on the outside of the sleeve. So we're just gonna pin in place and sew, and then I'm going to put the sleeve inside of the shoulder hole and sew it all together, and then we will move on to the buttonholes. Okay, so there we go. That is the top, the bodice all done. So now we need to do the buttons, which honestly, buttons used to scare me so much. I was very avoidant of buttons, but the last time I made this, it went really, really well. And I think I have to attribute that to the fact that I have an automatic buttonhole. The pattern does come with a buttonhole guide, so I'm going to go pull that out so that I know where to put the buttons. All right, so there's a buttonhole guide for each size, so make sure that you pick out the right size. And then for my buttons, I have these clear buttons. They're nothing special. I just didn't want something that would take away from the dress. Although I really do like wooden buttons, and in the theme of Valentine's Day, I think heart-shaped buttons would have been really cute. But, you know, it wasn't in the cards for me. I do have these clear buttons though, and they have soil on them because somehow I had soil in my purse. I don't know. Just as a reminder, if you are doing this exact same hack that I'm doing, you're only going to need 4 buttons. So just like a pack of 4 will be all you need. If you're doing the full dress or shirt, you're probably, well, not probably, you will need more buttons. Now that that's all marked up, I'm going to get a piece of scrap fabric so that I can make sure that the buttonhole is the right size and that everything is working properly. So let me show you my automatic buttonhole foot. It's really cool. This is what it looks like, and it plugs into my machine with this little plug. And yeah, I just input the size of button that I'm doing into my machine, and it just goes from there, and it's really cool and really convenient and totally changed my life. You can of course do buttonholes without having something like this though. You can also do the buttonholes manually just on your own with a needle and thread, but this definitely makes my life a lot easier. So I've let my machine know that we're gonna do a buttonhole, and there's a little gauge on my machine that will tell me like what numbers to put in my machine. So I'll just take the button and then I'll put it up against the button measure thing. So this is a 16, I think, millimeter button. All right, so once it's finished, it'll cut, and there's the buttonhole. This looks pretty big, like 16, that looks way too big, so I'm going to decrease that size. All right, so now I'm going to cut open the buttonholes, make sure that they all work and that the sizing was okay. So I think I'm going to wait to put on the buttons until later, because I don't know, it just feels like a good way to close out the project, like thinking and being intentional and doing it slowly. I feel like if I did it right now, I would just rush through it, and I feel like there's a lot of making clothes that, you know, I want to do fast, but then there's certain things where I'm like, no, let's do this slow and enjoy a little bit of slow fashion. Now we're moving on to the skirt, which is the easier part. I have my measuring tape, and we're doing a gathered skirt. What I'm going to do is measure this, like the width of my piece, so 22 inches, and I'm gonna double that because it's a circle. Well, it's like, there's two sides that are 22 inches. So that's 44. And then I'm going to double that because my gathers, I want them to be really full gathers. So if you were self-drafting something and you wanted to do like a gathered dress and it was, you know, kind of fitted, you would just take your waist measurement and then you would double that, and that would tell you how much fabric you need, like the width of the fabric to be, to make gathers. So we're gonna sort of pretend that this piece right here is like our waistline. And so it says 44, so we need to cut a piece that is 88 inches, and then we're going to cut that in half so that one side is 44 and the other side is 44. So we're going to need two pieces that are 44 inches wide. And I don't know how long exactly I want the tiers to be. I think maybe a foot? I don't know. I need to look up some inspo, and I will be back and let you know what I end up deciding to do. But this is like the best part of making clothes, because I can just decide, like, what do I want my clothing piece to look like? Do I want 3 tiers, 2 tiers, 1 tier? And it's completely my choice because I'm the one making it. And that's why this is so fun, you guys. We can customize our clothes. We don't have to go into a store and wish that it was something else. We can literally just make it exactly what we want, which is so fun. Okay, so what I have decided to do is 2 tiers. So I've got one skirt tier and then a ruffle at the bottom of that. So I'm going to make it 23 inches long. That will hit probably just above the knee. And then I'll do another panel that's maybe, I don't know, 12 inches long. So I'm just gonna go cut it and I'm gonna see what happens. Okay, hi. So I cut out my pieces and then I remembered, oh my gosh, I have to have pockets. So here are my pockets. Okay, so the skirt is sewn together and I'm just Wow, things are really coming together. I'm so excited. Okay, so now we're doing a lot of gathers because this needs to be shrunk down to the proper size. So I'm going to do 2 rows of gathering stitches and attach it to the bodice. I have tier 1 all finished and it looks so good. I just need to remove the basting stitch that is still visible, but that's something that can happen later. I really want to try it on. Oh my gosh. Ah, this linen is so dreamy. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. The pocket placement is also perfect. I'm gonna go look in the mirror. Hold on. Okay, I am very tempted to keep it this length, but my original plan was to keep going with another ruffle, so I'm gonna stick to the plan, but the ruffle is basically the exact same process as this, like, actual skirt piece. So I'm gonna do that off camera and then come back so that you can see the ruffle. I might not even have enough fabric to do it now that I'm thinking about it. I think I am gonna have enough. Okay, we'll see. I have some unfortunate news. So I'm not going to be able to add on the second ruffle, which, believe me, I'm a little sad about, but I was kind of skeptical about it anyway, and I was kind of thinking that it would be cute to have like a short bubbly dress. So I decided instead of doing all of that, I want to do a decorative hem instead. So my machine has like a bunch of fun stitches that it can do. Let me show you. I wanted to do hearts because, again, this is a Valentine's Day themed dress. So if you can see, we have one variation which is just like hearts next to each other, and then we have another variation which is hearts holding each other kind of. So I'm gonna go with this one because I feel like that one is, I don't know, a little bit more dainty and just probably will be easier to actually stitch. I'm pretty excited. I've never done a decorative hem before. I kind of thought they were a little corny, but I don't know, I'm liking the idea. And it's the same color as the dress, so you're really not gonna see it. It'll blend in pretty well. So it's a lot of hem, like a big area, so it's probably gonna take my machine some time to get through all of it. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you today. I hope that you enjoyed seeing the final product of this dress. I think it is seriously so cute and exactly what I was wanting. Something very spunky, and I actually am kind of glad that the length ended up being a bit shorter than I previously thought because I don't have any short dresses. All of my dresses that I've made are definitely like midi length, so I think that it'll be fun to have like a little cute puffy dress, and I especially love that the hem has these cute little hearts on it. I think that's my favorite part because it's totally unexpected and not something that you would notice unless you looked really closely, and I really like that. So thank you so much for watching this video, and a big thank you to Ana Luisa for sponsoring this video. If you're looking for something to give your partner for Valentine's Day, or you're wanting to give yourself a gift or leave a hint for someone, you can head to the link down below so that Ana Luisa knows that I sent you, and check out their 40% off sale. It is buy one, get one 40% off. All right, my friends, I will see you in the next one. Bye.